Well, hello, loves, and happy Sunday to you. Look at this. This just makes me so happy. The texture, the grunge. This collage pack will be listed on the blog. It's in the shop. It's really fun vintage papers. So I'll have it listed along with all of the supplies will be listed on the blog as well. The link will be below in the YouTube description box. So I'm working on a 12 by 12 MDF board, and I'm putting my papers down with DecoArt Matte Medium. So now that I've got all of my papers down, I am mixing modeling paste and gesso, which I do all the time. I like the consistency of it. I like the feel of it. It gives it a chalky finish, and it kind of loosens it up to make that kind of a little bit more fluid, and it also makes it bright white. These are all DecoArt modeling paste and gesso. And I'm using my Mediterranean 2 stencil, and I love this stencil, and I love how it looks with the modeling paste. It was just perfect. I wanted to try and make it feel really heavy on the bottom and light on the top. And part of that is reflective of the meaning behind this, and strength and letting go and freedom and all of those kinds of things. And so I wanted it to look like things were floating up and I was letting go. And I just love how all of the different textures play well together. So that was a couple of the scribble mark stencils up at the top, and now I've grabbed some texture sand, DecoArt's texture sand, and mixed it with some gesso, again because texture sand can be really thick and chunky, and it loosens it up, still have that texture, and again it's bright white. And I need that bright white when I start laying all of those colors down, because it really shows up well. And I'm laying it in between and on top of the already stenciled images, because I want it to look worn, like an old worn wall. So now I'm just taking some gesso and doing the same thing, just kind of integrating it in with the other pattern, with the texture paste, and kind of breaking that up so it doesn't look so straight and stenciled and neat. I want it to be messy. And I'm leaving that middle part open, and again that's for the symbolism of openness and growing and strength. So now I'm coming back over with some I'm using all DecoArt fluid acrylics, and this is medium gray, and I just want to kind of start that layering process of getting some really good grunge. I'm putting out some that is Americana, and it's DecoArt too. It's chalky gesso. And the chalky gesso is really, I've been playing with it a lot lately, but it's so smooth and creamy and really has almost a fresco feel to it. So I have my paper towel, or you could use a rag, but I am constantly wiping back. Every single layer I will put my paints down, no matter what color, and then wipe it back. And it gives it that shadowy, just fresco look. Now I'm using some Payne's Gray, and Payne's Gray is so deep and rich, and to me it's thought-provoking almost. It's so yummy good. It goes gray and kind of black in some areas. It's just so rich. And again, I'm pulling it back. Each time I lay it down, I pull it back. It just gives it a real rubbed and worn look. This is phthalo blue or phthalo turquoise. And I'm spritzing some water now on my rag to kind of pull some of that back. Now I've got some carbon black. Oh no, this is Prussian blue hue. Another rich, deep blue. This is more blue than that Payne's gray. Now I've got some carbon black. And I'm trying to make sure to move in different spots all throughout the piece so that I'm not too heavy all over. I will go heavy on certain parts once I get towards the end. Now I'm laying down some raw umber. I've put a little bit of alcohol onto my rag and I'm going back over the piece, and what that immediately does is take the paint off of the raised surfaces. All of the texture kind of comes back to life again. This is quinacridone or quinacridone gold, and it just adds that perfect punch of color without being too much, and just is real earthy and rich, again blending really well with all of the colors that I have going on. And I mixed a little bit of that quin gold with the raw umber to really make it kind of dirty, and oh, it just is so good. Everything about this just makes me happy. Now I grabbed some gold, some metallic gold. This is also a DecoArt fluid acrylic, and it was just the perfect unexpected surprise. I just loved it. So now I'm really going to start darkening things up and really adding tons of depth using the carbon black. This is bringing in some of that gray again, mixed with some of that carbon black, just to add again some depth, some dimension, some contrast. So after putting a few more colors down, it kind of took away some of that quin gold, and so I wanted to add that back in just to give it that color contrast. And I'm just doing the dance, going back and forth with all of those colors, trying to find that sweet spot. So now I've just taken a piece of paper towel, scrap piece of paper towel that I dug out of the trash. I watered down some raw umber fluid acrylic, and just place that on that paper towel and let it soak up. And then I printed out the word strength on my computer and again put that raw umber over the top of it. Now I waited for those to dry, and now I'm putting them all down with my DecoArt Matte Medium. Some of the edges came up on the paper towel, which I actually loved. I left them up and kind of folded and rough, and it just added all the more texture to the piece. Now I wanted that to blend in just a tiny bit so that it didn't look quite so bright and shiny. So I'm just using the same colors that I used in the background around that word. So now I'm just doing my final shading. I'm going to shade around the word, around the paper towel, add some soft pastel, black soft pastel around my piece, and that is it, my friends. Super simple, but wow, the results, the texture from the paper, and all of the different mediums that I put on there, I'm just in love. And it matches the message, so stick around to hear the meaning behind this piece. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them. Give me a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this project. And check out the blog for all the supplies listed. And I will see you next week. Okay, look at this. Oh, yummy. I have no words. It just feels so good. The colors, the depth, the texture, every single thing about this just speaks to me. It speaks to this week and what goes in behind this word, and oh my gosh, it's just so good. So before I dive into all of this, just FYI, when you see this video, the Collage Flowers workshop will be live and ready for you guys to get and have fun with and play with, and I hope that you do. And Tuesday, so you're seeing this on Sunday. Tuesday, I will be live in the Creative Souls Facebook page, and I'm going to be answering some questions that I get all the time and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a good time of just kind of playing. So that is all the announcements. So let's talk about this. So this piece is just so rich in the depth of color and texture, and it's kind of moody, and it's dark and strong, and that's what I was looking for this word strength. And so this week, so often we think about strength as when you're going through the hard times. And sometimes there's really this place in me that I need strength when I'm in the good times, when I'm ready to make a change for the good, for like making changes in the business to grow, and all of these wonderful things that I am working towards and that are my dreams and goals. Sometimes there's this other kind of strength that needs to happen. And I just really was thinking about this week, because this always happens when I'm doing a workshop.
there's this doubt and this, like, is it good enough? Am I good enough? All of those stupid voices that come, and it happens for me because I deal with anxiety and stuff like that, and I've shared that before, and I have learned to control it and deal with it and really kind of maneuver my way through it. But this week, I just started writing in my journal about, and I wrote, what is strength? It's about facing the fear, calling out fear as a liar. It's about doing the work to know myself so deeply that I can lean into the fear and recognize the lies. Sometimes we can't do that if we don't know who we are. Sometimes we believe the lies, and sometimes we still do, even if we've done the work, because it's much easier to believe the bad stuff than it is to believe the good stuff about ourselves. It's about replacing the ugly lies with truth, the truth. It's about authenticity and being willing to show up in the world with my unique set of gifts and being willing to share them. It's about taking care of my physical and spiritual self. And then I said, get behind me, fear. And so I wrote this out, and then I went back and really kind of defined and detailed some things. And I just want to say to you today that if you are, wherever you are in your phase of life, whether you're dealing with needing strength to make really wonderful changes and make your dreams happen, or maybe you're needing strength because you're in a really bad place, there's so many practices in this that I do over and over and over again. And this whole doubt of, is my work good enough? Is this workshop good enough? I mean, it happens every single time. And part of that's good. Part of that makes me really work hard to do the very best that I can. But then, like I said, as I wrote it down, I take those lies that I hear, those bad tapes that play, and I replace them. I replace them like, okay, so the lie is that I'm not good enough. So the truth is that I am good enough, that I have done the work, that my art is exactly where it needs to be right now, that, all of the different things that I tell myself, I just replace, and I wrote it out, and I've talked about this before. Writing things out makes a difference. Not typing it, but physically, pen in hand, and writing it down. It changes your brain. It changes how you think. And I read a book years ago that talked about that, and it changed my life. Taking care of your physical and spiritual self is one of the key components to battling fear. Fear is a liar, and fear keeps us from being in this place of strength. And taking care of ourselves is one of the most important things to battling all of those lies. And so if I am super tired, which happens in the process of me creating a workshop, because I'm all in 100%. It's like writing a book. I work late, I'm up early, and sometimes that's what's required, but I need to break, I need to take a rest, I need to refresh, so that my mind can be clear and I can have clear perspective. Being willing to lean in to who you uniquely are, knowing yourself so well that when those lies happen, you know who you are. I know my shortcomings, I know my quirks and my weirdness, and I know all of that. And I can combat that with the lies. I can say, that's not true, that's not true. And, and that's where that work begins, because sometimes there are things that I definitely need to work on. And then there are things that are just completely preposterous and are not true and based on what society and social media and all of the other things say should be the norm, and that's just not reality. So I say all of this to say, take care of yourself, your spiritualness, and do the work that you need to do to be able to battle those lies, because you, my love, you just the way you are right now is amazing. And your talents and your gifts and all of the things that you have to offer the world are so incredibly important. And the second that anybody tells you, or you tell yourself, that that's not the truth, that's a lie. That's a lie. Your unique gifts need to be in this world, and they help me be better, and they help others be better. And I just want you to know that you can have strength in those places where it's tough, or where you're making changes, or where you're really reaching and stretching and growing. You can find the strength and let go of the fear by taking care of yourself, by doing the work, by loving yourself, by letting go of the lies and all of those things that creep in. My loves, I can't tell you how important you are to my world and to what I do. And when I have your comments and you share with me your stories, they just make me happy. That's why I started doing what I do and the way that I do it, with the Sunday inspiration, so that I could encourage. And when I can, it confirms to me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you for that. And always know how important you are, and always know that you are loved.